Redmayne is among the first to have arrived in Cambridge for the funeral of renowned theoretical physicist Professor Stephen Hawking, who died at home on March 14, prompting an outpouring of grief around the world. The service will be held at Great St. Mary's Church, a stone's throw from Gonville and Caius College, where Prof Hawking was a fellow for 52 years. Since his death at home earlier this month, thousands of people have visited this college to sign his book of condolence. Felicity Jones, who starred alongside Redmayne, has also made her way into the church hand-in-hand with fiance film director Charles Guard. The Theory of Everything actress, 33, has also starred in Star Wars and studied at Oxford University. Redmayne will give a reading at Prof Hawking's funeral, with Ecclesiastes 3.1:11 as the chosen text. This will be followed by a reading by the Astronomer Royal. Martin Rees.Eulogies will be delivered by Robert Hawking, Prof Hawking's eldest child, and Professor Fay Dowker, a former student of Prof Hawking. Despite having said he is an atheist, Prof Hawking's family felt the traditional church service would give his many friends in this city a chance to remember and pay tribute to him. Stephen Hawking's children, Lucy, Robert, and Tim, said in a statement, "Our father lived and worked in Cambridge for over 50 years. Prof Hawking's ashes would be interred next to the grave of Sir Isaac Newton at Westminster Abbey. The Dean of Westminster, the Very Reverend Dr. John Hall, said, "It is entirely fitting that the remains of Professor Stephen Hawking are to be buried in the Abbey, near those of distinguished fellow scientists." Sir Isaac Newton was buried in the Abbey in 1727. Charles Darwin was buried beside Isaac Newton in 1882. Other famous scientists are buried or memorialized nearby, the most recent burials being those of atomic physicists Ernest Rutherford in 1937 and Joseph John Thomson in 1940. We believe it to be vital that science and religion work together to seek to answer the great questions of the mystery of life and of the universe. Prof Hawking died on March 14 at the age of 76 after a lifetime as one of the world's most renowned scientists despite his battle with motor neuron disease. Stephen Hawking, the best-known physicist of his time, the best-known theoretical physicist of his time, Hawking wrote so lucidly of the mysteries of space, time and black holes that his book, A Brief History of Time, became an international bestseller, making him one of science's biggest celebrities since Albert Einstein, the best-known theoretical physicist of his time. Hawking wrote so lucidly of the mysteries of space, time and black holes that his book, A Brief History of Time, became an international bestseller, making him one of science's biggest celebrities since Albert Einstein. He was a great scientist and an extraordinary man whose work and legacy will live on for many years, his children Lucy, Robert, and Tim said in a statement. His courage and persistence with his brilliance and humor inspired people across the world. He once said, "It would not be much of a universe if it wasn't home to the people you love." We will miss him forever. Even though his body was attacked by amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, when Hawking was 21, he stunned doctors by living with the normally fatal illness for more than 50 years. A severe attack of pneumonia in 1985 left him breathing through a tube, forcing him to communicate through an electronic voice synthesizer that gave him his distinctive robotic monotone. But he continued his scientific work, appeared on television and married for a second time. As one of Isaac Newton's successors as Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at Cambridge University, Hawking was involved in the search for the great goal of physics of unified theory. Such a theory would resolve the contradictions between Einstein's theory of relativity, which describes the laws of gravity that govern the motion of large objects like planets, and the quantum mechanics theory, which deals with the world of subatomic particles. For Hawking, the search was almost a religious quest. He said finding a theory of everything would allow mankind to know the mind of God. A complete, consistent, unified theory is only the first step. Our goal is a complete understanding of the events around us and of our own existence, he wrote in A Brief History of Time. In later years, though, he suggested a unified theory might not exist. He followed up A Brief History of Time in 2001 with the more accessible sequel The Universe in a Nutshell, updating readers on concepts like supergravity, naked singularities and the possibility of an 11-dimensional universe. Hawking said belief in a God who intervenes in the universe to make sure the good guys win or get rewarded in the next life was wishful thinking. But one can't help asking the question, why does the universe exist? He said in 1991. I don't know an operational way to give the question or the answer, if there is one, a meaning. But it bothers me. The combination of his best-selling book and his almost total disability. For a while he could use a few fingers, later he could only tighten the muscles on his face, made him one of science's most recognizable faces. He made cameo television appearances in The Big Bang Theory, The Simpsons and Star Trek: The Next Generation, and counted among his fans U2 guitarist The Edge, who attended a January 2002 celebration of Hawking's 60th birthday. His early life was chronicled in the 2014 film The Theory of Everything, with Eddie Redmayne winning the Best Actor Academy Award for his portrayal of the scientist. The film focused still more attention on Hawking's remarkable achievements. Some colleagues credited that celebrity with generating new enthusiasm for science. His achievements and his longevity helped prove to many that even the most severe disabilities need not stop patients from living. Hawking was born Jan 8, 1942, in Oxford, and grew up in London and St Albans, northwest of the capital. In 1959, he entered Oxford University and then went on to graduate work at Cambridge. Signs of illness appeared in his first year of graduate school, and he was diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease after the New York Yankee star who died of it.